One person might be beauty and the other the beast, chasing rainbows, leprechauns, and unicorns, riff-raff to find the golden pearly nugget, a lot of emotion, a lot of passion when nobody's looking. Hi everyone, it's Meredith, your evolutionary astrologer, and today's video is so big, fat, and juicy. You're not going to want to miss any of this. Today we're going to be talking again about the composite chart in astrology. And if you don't know what that is, you are in for a ride. I'm going to explain it all to you here. But specifically, what we're going to do today is we're going to talk about the composite moon through the different houses. So all 12 houses are included, and I want you to listen to this video in a couple different ways. Get ready, strap in. We are going to go for a very deep, emotional ride. Okay, stick with me. Even if you are just a basic student of astrology and you don't know much more than your sun sign, there is so much to learn right here on my channel because I go into the deeper side of astrology. We go way past the stereotypes. And if you think you know your sign, I'm going to challenge you. You probably don't know it deeply. So watch all the videos you can, take in the knowledge because it's a gold mine when you can truly understand your soul and the people who are involved with you's soul, and you come from a deeper place. Astrology gives you empathy for others. It gives you an open-mindedness. It allows you to see people, including yourselves, through a new healing lens. So let's talk about the composite chart. That is not your natal chart. And if you have no idea how to calculate the composite chart, go back and watch my whole entire series on the composite chart because it is so exciting. You cannot know your relationship with anybody as deeply and as profoundly as you can once you've studied your composite chart. So, as I said before, there's you, and then there's me, and then there's the relationship the two of us create together. Now, that can be a parent-child relationship, a platonic relationship, a business relationship, or it can be a romantic relationship, any relationship. It can also be a relationship to a place or a relationship to a thing, because all things and all places do have a birthday. Now, the composite chart works best if you have both people's birth times, but don't fret. I am going to teach you how to work with the charts if you don't have the birth times for the other person or the other thing that you're looking at. So, for example, if I want to understand why I don't much love a certain place, say South Dakota, no offense to anybody in South Dakota, but my heart's on fire in New York City, well, I might want to go do my composite chart with me and South Dakota and what do we create, and also me and New York City and what do we create together? So the composite chart is the midpoint of all the planets in your chart and my chart. And that midpoint creates its own chart. And that is called a composite chart. And that shows you not how I affect you or how you affect me. So it's not why I like New York City or how New York City is affected by me in this case, but it's what New York City and I create together. So it is the energy, it is the composite energy and the karmic contract and the karmic story of what we create together. And it's this third entity, which is the relationship. So first, I'm going to just give you a little idea on how you can calculate for your midpoint planet. So if you have no idea how to do the calculation, basically, you're going to find the halfway point, the 50-50 point between me and you, and that will create our composite sun sign, our composite moon sign. In this video, we're going to be talking about the moon. If you have a 20 degrees Aries moon and I have a 20 degree Libra moon, then the halfway point, starting with the earlier sign, which of course, I know you know what it is. Everybody tell me. Aries, right? That's the earlier sign, is going to be a 20 degree Cancer moon, because Cancer is the exact midpoint between Aries and Libra. Let me do another one for you. If you have a Virgo moon and I have Pisces moon, then starting with the earlier sign, dun, 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 Virgo, together we will have the moon sign that is exactly halfway between, and together we're going to create Sagittarius moon. How fun for us. If that's just way too much math for you to do, there's two things you can do to make it way, way, way easier on yourself. You can let my shop do the calculations for you, and you can buy our composite package, our composite report, our composite lovers report, our composite lovers chart. I have tons and tons. Just go check it all out at shopsoulnavigation.com and go get your own composite chart. We make it absolutely gorgeous, super stunning, super beautiful, easy to read. Or you could also hopefully still purchase one of my aspect finders. I absolutely love and adore my aspect finder, and it is interactive. So it moves around and it allows you to find the halfway point in between 2 points. And this is my 23-year-old aspect finder. I absolutely love and adore it. And when I was a novice astrologer, and sometimes today when I freeze up or I can't do my math that fast, I will still refer to it. You guys love these so much. I bought 50 of them. They sold out like that. Then I bought another 50 and they sold out like that. So I just put 50 in the shop last week. We still have a few left. You guys really, really love these, but I don't love going to the post office, so I can't do them permanently and constantly. They're really hard to find. I don't think there is a better tool for a beginning astrologer or somebody who really, really wants to do deep exploration. These are going to sell out in a flash. So I highly recommend you get yourself one from my shop, and it's, again, shopsoulnavigation.com. I'll put it in the description below. Go hunt for one, and I will say a prayer that you get one. If you don't get one and you don't want to do the math yourself, you can buy all kinds of charts and reports based on the composite in my shop as well. So that should help you. The sign that the composite moon is in is very important. And I decided not to splice this video up for members. By the way, I love you members. And if you are not a member, please consider joining. It's just $2.99 and you get all of my behind the scenes videos, but I'm going to do a separate video for you based on the composite moon sign. In this video, we're going to be talking about where the composite moon is by house. But for members, stay tuned because I'm going to have an extra special video for you, and you do not want to miss it because you need to understand the moon sign, just like you need to understand the composite moon's house placement. They're both equally as important. Which one is more important? I actually can't pick because the house placement is going to tell us what your relationship is going to be focused on. It's going to tell us how and what things you do in your relationship to get your emotional needs met. It's going to show the area of life that your relationship is preoccupied with and is in love with, right? And the moon sign will show us how you approach all those important things and themes. Both are absolutely critical for you to know. Okay, so I mentioned that there are 3 different ways that I want you to listen to this video. The first is I want you to go and figure out what your composite moon sign is and the house placement. Today we're talking about the house. Members are going to get my moon sign, my composite moon sign video at a later date. But in this video for the public, we're just talking about the house placement. So I want you to understand what house your composite moon sign is in with your lover, with your brother, with your mother, with your daughter, with your son, with your ex-husband, with the lover that you've never gotten over, with your new husband, with your fiance, with your best friend, with your favorite place in the world. Why do you love the Caribbean, right? What house placement is the moon in with you and the place in the world that you love the most? All you have to do is figure out the birthday and time of that place and build a composite chart. So I want you to listen to all of those house placements for those different relationships because it will show you the emotional tone, the emotional focus, and the emotional reward at a deep, profound level in your life. The second way that I want you to listen to this is think about your moon placement. So if you have your moon in the 3rd house, listen to this video about what it means to have a moon in the 3rd house. Now, in this video, I'm specifically talking about the composite moon, but believe me, you will get golden nuggets about your own moon sign house placement if you listen for your natal house placement inside this video. Then the third thing that I want you to listen to is the person that you're in the relationship with. So for example, my daughter has her moon sign in the second house, and I want to do a composite chart on our two charts together. Well, listen for that other person or that place's moon sign placement in their own natal chart, so you can understand your natal moon placement, their natal moon placement, and then the composite natal moon placement by house. So you have a lot of moon placements in this video to listen to. So don't just listen for your one composite moon placement by house. You have a lot of thinking to do in this video, and I want you to get so much out of this. The house location of the composite moon shows what things you do as a couple inside your partnership to soothe yourselves, bring each other emotional support. So what brings your relationship, not you as an individual, but what brings your relationship comfort? What will heal your relationship? This moon placement by house will give you a deeper sense and a deeper understanding of what brings this relationship happiness. It will also show you your shared feelings inside the relationship, and it is the overall mood or the emotional tone of the relationship. It's basically the heart of who the two of you are. And again, you can do this with anything. You can do this with your dog. You can do this like I just did. I just went to New York City and my heart was just set on fire, and I wanted to understand, what is it that lights me up about New York City? It's my favorite place in the world. It's the emotional body of your partnership, of your connection, responding to all the joys, all the happinesses, and all the sorrows and all the hard things inside your connection or your relationship. It is the true alchemy of the two of you. And it's how you will work with the emotional challenges. What do you need to do or focus on to overcome the emotional challenges? And I'm going to go through all 12 all 12 houses in this video. So hold on. It's a big video and it's going to be jam-packed full of good stuff. So again, it's not our individual response to the emotional makeup inside our relationship. It is how we collectively respond to the tragedies, the challenges, the hard things, and our victories inside our partnership, our relationship, our connection. It's how we get the big wins and how we find the wondrous parts of our partnership. And it is the emotion that we create together. So has anybody ever driven you just batshit crazy? Right? Go look at your composite moon with that person. This is our emotional meeting in the middle, right? This is the cheese in the grilled cheese sandwich. This is the middle parts. And this is how we make other people feel in the presence of our partnership. So how do we together, when we together walk into a room, how do people react to us? How do we make them feel? And this is who we are behind closed doors. This is the emotional well-being that we create for other people who live inside our home. So how do your children feel about the coupledom, right, inside the family unit? Do they like what they feel between mom and dad, or is it annoying? This is the mood inside the walls that make up our home. It is how we sit at the dinner table together. The moon sign by composite, by house and by sign will show us how we live together, how we are behind the walls, right? When nobody's looking. It can be our private, our tender, our very secret world. This is our intimacy when nobody's looking. This is what are we like when the cameras are turned off. The moon will also show us how we nurture and help heal our relationship when it is in crisis. And the house will show us our preoccupations inside our relationship. Are we warm? Are we open-hearted? Are we clinical? Are we perfectionistic? Are we ambitious? Do we trust easily? Are we nurturing? Are we private? Are we gregarious? Are we intelligent? Are we rational? We're going to go through it all. And it also represents the area in your life where you naturally tend to spend a great deal of time together, because this is what you unconsciously desire, to create comfort, for the feeling of mutual support that you offer one another. And the house position of the composite moon shows where your relationship is played out and felt most deeply, because the moon represents the deepest part of a person, even their unconscious motivations and inspirations and feelings. This is where you feel like you really, really know one another. This is the house where you come together at the deepest level and where you feel like you most understand one another. This is where inside your relationship you feel gotten or not. And it's also where the both of you go for that feeling of emotional retreat and regeneration. Listen to your natal moon sign by house placement, their natal moon sign by house placement, and your composite placement with everybody that you care about, so you can know what you are creating with this other person. Okay, so let's talk about the moon in the first house, and especially by composite. So any planets that you have in the first house are extremely, extremely important, even if it's not your moon sign, because their influence is very, very, very powerful for this couple. Again, I'm speaking in composite terms, but I do want you to listen to this if this is in fact also your natal moon sign, or if this is your other person's natal moon sign. Every single person who is involved in your relationship will surely see that the moon shines so bright in your relationship. And you cannot hide the planets that sit in your first house by composite or natally, or in your solar return, or in your progress chart. And I pray that you guys have gotten your solar return every single year right around your birthday. You need that so you can see how your whole year is going to go. And where is that moon hanging out in your solar return? I also hope you know where the moon is at in your progress chart, because it goes around the entire zodiac in 30 years. So those are absolutely critical reports to get to understand your life right now. So with the moon in the first house, your relationship is going to have a sizzle and it's going to have a shine, and your heart is going to play out right up front. So it's very hard for this couple, this partnership, to hide their emotions. They're right up front. You have your heart pressed up right against your nose. So we're going to know and we're going to feel that moon sign, whatever it is, when it's in the first house. So there's a lot of emotion, a lot of passion, maybe even emotional volatility, if you will, that glues this couple together and also irritates and creates friction. This is a moody couple. Now, it doesn't have to be a bad moody. This could be people who just love each other to death, and it's like, go get a room, people, if it's romantic. But it can also be like there is gargantuan love present. The couple might brag about themselves. So we can think of this couple as very sensitive, leading with their heart, wearing their emotions on their sleeve. This couple might also sign up for a karmic contract that forces them into having a deeply emotional life together. I don't know, maybe there's loss, maybe there's pain, maybe there's giant victories, maybe there is giant heartfelt needs inside this relationship, and they will put their families first. You will see this couple is family. And if you're just friends and you're not blood related, but they love you, they might call you family. Like, this is my sister, but you're really just best friends. This couple is probably going to become deeply enmeshed with one another, and they will always have their finger on the emotional pulse. It's not like one person is going to disappear or be detached or just check out or just ghost. You will feel the heart and the soul of your relationship probably all the time. You will probably be able to predict your partner's feelings. Like, oh, if I bring that up, I know what they're going to feel. I know what they're going to say. If you have this placement in your composite chart, I should say, whatever the emotion is, it is going to burst forward. Remember, this is Aries house. So this operates with an Aries-like feeling, even if it's in the sign of Capricorn, because the heart in this relationship really, really, really matters. Nobody wants to take the emotions for granted. And there is also a very healing quality with this placement. With the moon in the first, you both care so deeply about the other person's life, but you really, really cherish and value and care about the relationship. And you want the relationship to be happy, fulfilled, and healthy. And your emotional reaction to the world, to other people, to new situations is highlighted with the composite moon in the first house. It is a really strong moon placement for the composite chart, and it indicates that this is an important relationship for good or for bad. The emotions that bubble up inside this relationship are important for the evolutionary growth of your soul inside this coupledom, if you will, inside this partnership. You feel really seen. You feel like other people see the two of you, appreciate you, but you also feel like you really see your partner. And you will come across, and you probably will be, as a partnership that is really, really tied together. Like, oh, she couldn't live without him, or oh, she means the world to him, or he means the world to her, or he loves her just as much as she loves him if it's romantic. This is also a really beautiful placement if this is a parent-child relationship. But there is an understanding that you have about one another that is so obvious to others. And you will support each other emotionally inside the interactions with the world, inside new situations, and your support of one another is really evident to other people. This is a very strong partnership. And you have a deep understanding about one another. You also probably won't want to go individually blaze your own trail if it is not good for the partnership. This is a partnership that has a mutual support that gives a great deal of strength and power and emotional capacity when dealing with the rest of the world or the public world. Composite moon in the second house. This has this partnership or this couple focusing on finding faith and security and confidence in the bond that you have. There is a focus on material security, acquiring more of it, and learning how to keep it. And maybe one of you is more dependent on the relationship at one point in time, and then it flips. But in truth, this is a relationship that wants to grow your confidence inside its partnership. And also, hopefully, best case scenario is to make you feel strong, safe, and secure inside the bond or the relationship. Gaining financial stability is important for this partnership or for the connection of this couple. And together, you may enjoy investing your money, growing your assets, treating each other to material gifts, supporting each other financially, being generous with your resources. You may enjoy shopping together, having nice things, or providing each other with good feel goods, makes you feel safe and warm and cozy and snuggly and complete. And living together or buying or setting up a home together gives you a really strong feeling of emotional peace and comfort. So, personal note, I have this placement with my daughter. We have a second house composite moon. And one of the things that I like to do is I like to see how the composite moon goes with your moon and if you like the house placement. So what's interesting about her is she was born with a second house natal moon. And then our composite moon together is also in the second house. And I don't have that. She probably feels quite comfortable with moon placement. And I do know that financial security and having her own nice bedroom and being able to eat the kinds of foods that she wants to eat make her feel safe and warm and happy. And I also know that our home is extreme and where we live is extremely important to her. And listen to this. So this is a little bit of a personal story. I am a city girl. I'm not a suburban girl. I knew when I wanted to have a baby, I wasn't even pregnant yet, but I traded my condo right smack in the heart of the city for a pretty home, small home, but a pretty home that was perfect for the two of us. And I wasn't even pregnant yet. And by the way, I was 39 years old, so I didn't even know if I could get pregnant. But I bought a pretty home that was charming and delightful. It was actually called a cottage in this safe and beautiful and magical neighborhood that has evergreen trees that are so big, like Christmas trees everywhere, because I didn't want her to feel unsafe as a baby in the city with sirens and loud, right? Even though the city truly is where my heart loves to be, I wanted that for her. And we have a second house composite moon. So I'm glad I did. This relationship is probably going to bring up emotional insecurities. Like, am I good enough? Do you really love me? Will you really take care of me? If I need you to, can I show you my insecurities? Can I show you my underbelly? That part is hard about a second house composite moon. But why does this happen? And that's because you are growing confidence and you have to walk through and heal your inhibitions and your vulnerabilities in order to bring or nurture or grow confidence inside your relationship. Your security will be tested by feeling vulnerable. Like, if I show you my vulnerabilities, will you still love me? And when you find out that you're still lovable, then you get more confident. As for couples, the danger of the second house composite moon is living too much in the material world and feeling so comfortable in your combined financial roles or situation that you stay together just for this security. However, the second house composite moon can, after the relationship is somewhat tested, truly make you feel secure. And it goes a long way to bring you peace and happiness once you become confident and feel important and of value inside your relationship. Remember that the second house, and this is where I told you in the beginning that we go way beyond stereotypes. So if you think you already know everything about the second house, I really recommend you study with me on this channel, because I really go past the superficial in all of my videos. But remember that the second house isn't just about beauty and money. It is about anything the couple or the partnership truly values. So sharing values is another really big thing with this composite moon. So I bet that both of you value the same thing, or you're learning to value the same thing. Or when you're together, it's easier to value the same thing. You might have a deep sense of each other's values and find an emotional deepening because of the values that are created and shared. Maybe you believe in a certain faith and the other person believes in something different. And with this placement, you actually might find a common ground or a willingness to grow your perspective because the other person brings that value to you. You find a sense of comfort and peacefulness with this placement eventually. There's also a love for nature, a love for the outdoors, and you might connect in outdoor settings. And it also might be really easy for you to be each other's creature comfort, like you might have or share or make or bake good food together, cooking, sharing in meals, watching movies, having soft blankets, snuggling up by candlelight, anything that feels good. If your values differ greatly, having this position can be really challenging. And you could have a really deep emotional reaction to the differences if you can't find the common ground, because that's going to create sort of an emotional split or fracture, and that is painful. So I do want to explain a couple of products that you could get that could really help you with understanding your composite. You could purchase our gorgeous composite tri-wheel, and what that is your natal chart with their natal chart with your composite chart. So it's all three together in a tri-wheel on one page. You could also get the bi-wheel package. It's a little easier to read, but it is the composite chart and your natal chart. And then it is their natal chart with your composite chart. So then you're only reading two bi-wheels, and that is the composite bi-wheel package. Just to give you some tools if you want to go more deeply into this and rewatch this video after you get all of your composite charts. And then I have the Lovers Composite Package. And what is so cool about that is you get your composite chart, but we put the 4 different love asteroids in it. So you get to look at Psyche, Eros, Cupido, and Aphrodite, and you get a whole report that goes into those placements, and it goes way, way, way deep into your romantic composite, if you will, your romantic relationship through the perspective of the composite chart. So you get the chart and the report. And you could just get your composite chart or your composite chart with the love asteroids if you want. So we've got all of that in the shop to really, really help you. And it goes pretty deep. And I really, really love those reports. That's why I bought the license. I don't write them, but I chose them, and they are just fantastic if you really want to understand your relationship at that level. Okay, the composite moon in the 3rd house. This is a relationship that really values talking to one another, discussing life, discussing love, and discussing your relationship, exploring ideas and learning new things, planning activities. and learning about life together. These people love talking about their collaboration, or I should say their collaborative ideas, their collaborative lessons, their collaborative values. These people also put a very high value on emotional intelligence, and they get a lot of satisfaction from being the emotional smart couple. Are you the emotional smart couple? Very reasonable, open-minded, open-hearted. They also really like discussing things that promote the emotional health and wellness of their relationship, like improving or understanding the emotional dynamic of their chemistry or connection. And when you have a third house composite moon, communicating your feelings about each other is actually how you feel safe and secure inside your relationship. You like to know what the other person is thinking and feeling, and you like to know where things stand, and you like things out in the open, and you like open verbal communication. And that's what makes your heart feel safe and secure and comfortable, and it makes your heart grow bigger and more generous. These people absolutely love learning about life together, and they also like to stay very busy, networking, having friends, doing social activities, doing life on the go, short trips in their cars or long trips on an airplane across the seas. Traveling and exploring and learning will fulfill this couple's desires, I should say. There's probably a love for travel and exploration and adventure, and you guys may even commute to work together, or work together, or commute to school together, go places in common. So one thing for sure is that they get their emotional sustenance from learning together. They might even read books together, or they probably like nonstop discussions and conversations. And this open-minded couple loves trying new things. There might be an emphasis on languages inside this relationship. So maybe the two of you don't speak the same language, the same first language. Maybe one of you speaks one language as your first language, and you guys meet in your second language, or vice versa. It's just that language could be multifaceted in this relationship, but everything is discussed, and you guys love analyzing and figuring out why you do certain things, why you treat each other a certain way. You analyze, you discuss, you figure out, you compute, you calculate. You want to know why the two of you react in certain ways. Like, why do you react this way? I don't know. Why do you react this way? It's like life is a puzzle to figure out. So even though this is the emotionally based moon in this intellectual brainiac Gemini house, even if you don't have Gemini as your composite moon sign, there's a Gemini, fever to the flavor of the of the heart with this placement, and it's talkative and it's busy. This is a busy heart, if you will. It's like this is the house of popcorn. And I will say that you really do try to be emotionally reasonable, emotionally rational, but because the moon is of an emotional nature, sometimes it can just be overwhelming to have this placement. And you can end up communicating in a little bit of a detached or distant way that is overly intellectual and less emotional. Either way, I'm just going to tell you, communication is the name of the game. And it can degrade into just argumentative bickering, if you will. But I think that this couple really does have an emphasis to sort of dig through to the truths and dig through to deeper understanding. I'll also tell you that siblings could be a big part of your relationship. Your sibling, their siblings, both of your siblings. But this relationship does provoke really good conversations. However, I will say this couple might not be so good at listening as they are talking. So developing great or better or new and improved listening skills would be a great goal for this couple, for this partnership. But this is I consider the third house one of the three houses of joy. I hope you guys saw my video for members only on how to find joy and happiness in the chart. And the third house is definitely a joyful placement. It's Peter Pan's placement. By the way, I coined all this. I didn't find this in a book. This is just what I've discovered out of doing all of my readings. Composite moon in the fourth house. With the moon in the fourth house, People in this union, this partnership, this relationship are really, really, really focused on family and on their geographical roots, their heritage, their ancestry, where they come from, their bloodline, their culture, and they want to understand it. This is a very private place for the emotional complexity of this moon placement. And this relationship will have emotional complexity in their relationship. And their inner life is hidden to the public. It is very quiet and very inward. So the fourth house is probably the most private house, but there is an inner life to this relationship that is very critical to them. It is very deeply important. And also there is a domestication emphasis with this partnership. So you don't have to be in a romantic partnership to feel this. You could just feel at home with somebody. But this relationship is focused on home. With this person, even if it is just with a platonic friend, they might feel like family. Or if this is family, you might feel like you don't know how to ever leave them completely. This could create deep codependency, and you might not be able to totally individuate because the relationship can have very deep and profound emotional ties that could even feel a little bit suffocating or feel like it's strangulation just a little bit because there is total enmeshment. But if you do have a home together, growing and nurturing and building a home, something to do with home is really important. Decorating your home, their home, our home. And if you're just in a platonic friendship, you might feel more comfortable, or even a business partnership, you might work from home. You might feel more comfortable staying in at home rather than going out because you just want to decompress from the week and be together in a more quiet and relaxed way that recharges your batteries. And this could be a really emotionally fulfilling relationship that does actually recharge your batteries. This relationship is actually meant to heal you through nurturance, love, security, and taking care of you. And both partners probably feel like they really want to do that. Starting a family together, putting down your own roots together, building a conscious history, a legacy, traditions feels natural to you. You might want to go back to the same restaurant every weekend because that's our place. Right? So it's like building traditions. And also I'll tell you that if you have a fourth house composite moon, you probably feel like you have known this person for lifetimes, and you probably have. So it's very, very interesting. There's a deep karmic element to this placement. Who has this placement? Leave me a comment below and let me know who you have this placement with. There's a mother quality to this too. So if you have this placement with your own mom, that is extremely profound and very, very deep. I don't have this placement with my mom, at least not the moon, but I do love this for mother energy. So check and see if you have a fourth house moon by composite placement with your mama, because that is very deep and profound. And this is the mother's house. So it's kind of exalted. The home and the family connections and the family life that you build together. Maybe you're just friends, but you absolutely love your partner's family home or parents, and vice versa. Their mama is your mama, or their mom and dad adopted you because their daughter or their son is your best friend. Something like that. Like the parents and the family is, and the home life is really, really, really big. And so leave me a comment if you've experienced that. But and you'll make family, you'll make home with this person that makes you feel peaceful and comfortable and is very important to you. And it's your house, their family's house, your family's house. It's a natural place to get together for you. Shut the world out, shut the world out. And if there isn't harmony in the home, this is going to be excruciatingly painful. There's a healing, nurturing energy inside this partnership. Maybe the two of you are healers that come together like a nurse and a doctor, or two nurses, or two energy workers, or a massage therapist and a reflexologist, or something like that. And the two of you might have a healing composite or a healing nature about your relationship, taking care of each other and taking care of others, and the world seeing you as a caretaking partnership. Relatives are going to play a very important part. Your mother is going to play an important part, or their mother. The mother archetype is going to play an important part. But one thing is for sure, family issues will become prominent, and that could be a burden or a joy. The entire family could come over to your home. If you guys are a couple, maybe you host all of the family gatherings, all the family birthday parties. Maybe you've got the biggest house or the best house or the most comfortable house or the house that is midway that everybody can get to, right? You might not live far from your family, but family and family culture and family traditions are going to be front and center. And maybe you are the constant host because you're the good cook. Maybe you do food real well because this is the house of the stomach. So you might be the constant chronic hostess and you might love entertaining in your home rather than going out and wasting all your money at a restaurant. There's usually animals involved with this house because animals create warmth and love inside of the family. And you might share an animal. So maybe you guys don't live together yet, but you co-own a puppy. So let's talk about the composite moon in the 5th house. Your comfort zone, and this is a really exciting placement, I will tell you. The composite moon in the 5th house, they have so much fun together. Their comfort zone is found in making a big splash and having a genuinely great time, making life fun and joyful. This is the house of joy. I hope you guys saw my video on the 5th house that I did with Connie Joe. That was such a blast to do. We had so much fun, of course, because it was the house of joy. And we have done a deep dive on all of the houses. So if you feel like you want to know more about these house placements, please go watch our series on the houses. And when we did the 5th house, it was so exciting. This is the couple or the partnership. So think about if this is your brother, your sister, your child, your mother, your business partner. This relationship is about fun. It's about having fun. It's about being kids again, if you will, like finding your inner child. And it's about having big self-expression and enjoying life to the fullest and feeling liberated and fully self-expressed and creative and creating fun, having fun, making fun. And if this partnership or relationship is really healthy, these people will probably find just a natural and sincere and a genuine way just by themselves to just sort of constantly or chronically want to celebrate this relationship. I will say there is a wow factor to this couple. This is a couple that wants to put a splash into the world. They want to dive into the deep end of the pool. And there is a generosity and a kindness, a joie de vivre, a love for life. They let their passions hang out and they like other people to notice their sex appeal, their passion, their fun, their play, their joy. They want other people to notice that they are rocking it. Yeah, they don't care if everybody is seeing all their love for life, love for each other, as long as it's just genuine and real, because they do ultimately, at the end of the day, have a karmic contract to genuinely find the fun, not fake it, not be superficial, not just do it for likes or just a show, but a genuine desire for the heart to feel happy and fulfilled and to squeeze the juice out of life and sprinkle it into the world. This is usually a really happy partnership. These people like to dance the night away, either metaphorically or literally. They like to go to games together, play games together, and they love creating surprises for themselves, surprises for people in their life. They love the feeling, the euphoric feeling of being surprised. Lots of people are going to be really attracted to this partnership, and children might be a really significant part of their bond. With the composite moon here, it means you feel comfortable letting loose, being yourself, seeking fun, seeking out childlike fun, and you attract children into your life. But sometimes this moon placement can overindulge, like having FOMO, keeps them up all night, so they are just exhausted because they burn the candle at both ends, like chasing rainbows, leprechauns, and unicorns right off the cliff, right? Like one too many margaritas. And as long as things don't get out of hand and cause financial disarray or difficulties or bankruptcy, and you can just keep meeting your obligations in life to create enough security to have this much fun and play, it's really a beneficial placement. It's a very fun placement. And go back and look at your exes and see if you had this composite moon, because that's why you liked them. But that also is probably why the relationship was not sustainable. This is a very hard euphoria to chronically sustain, right? Like life is not just always a party, but for these people, they want it to be. Also, I would say this probably creates a real desire to have children, and children will make you feel complete in your relationship. If this is a friendship relationship, it's like you could go years without seeing each other. And then when you see each other, oh my God, it just feels like your childhood glee rushing back to you, like no time has ever passed. And you might just start dancing in the streets with joy and happiness that you're reunited. Let's talk about the composite moon in the 6th house. I like this placement, and I am going to distill the negative talk around the 6th house and Virgos. So this is Virgo's house. And if you guys really want to start appreciating the Virgos in your life, or the Virgo parts of your own natal chart, or the Virgo part of your composite chart, please go watch my Virgo playlist, because I feel like I really get Virgos and I get their virtues and their blessings, where I find that they get a lot of crap in the books and in the scholarly books even, and in traditional astrology, and right here on YouTube and in videos. I feel that they are undervalued and underappreciated, and basically, I just want to say misunderstood. Here's a shout out to my Virgos and Virgo moons and the Virgo placement of the composite moon in the 6th house. I want to tell you that the gratitude that I have for Virgos and this placement for the moon sign comes through the simplicity of it. The simple pleasures in life. I think it's because these people get emotional fulfillment inside their partnership through the simple day-to-day routines. They might even do their chores well together. They might load the dishwasher or do the dishes well together. They might be just very supportive in their daily lives, and even doing the little things, the little sweet things in life, like, honey, can I get you a cup of coffee? Could I make you a sandwich? Could I draw you your bath? Do you want me to start your shower so it's warm? One of the sweetest things my husband did for me is, I'm just going to tell this little like 6th house tidbit. I took baths my whole life until we moved into this house. And now I don't have a bathtub. I only have a shower. I'm determined to change that though. But what he said was, if you hang your towel over the shower, and we have a glass door, so it's easy to do, it's not going to fall on the shower curtain rod. Hang your towel mostly over the shower, and then you don't have to be cold when you get out to go walk to where your towel is, because it's a little bit far, and your towel stays warmer. And so he just, like, if I'm in the shower and I forgot to do that because I'm not in the habit of that, he just grabs my towel and he just hangs it over the shower. Isn't that sweet? It is just so sweet. And so it's little things like that. And I don't know if that would make you feel loved, but that makes me feel really cared about, because nobody was giving two flying squirrels about my comfort in the shower before him. There is a pragmatic quality together with this couple, and it's supportive and it's pragmatic and it's like based in reality. So this person could help you make the bed, organize the shoe closet. This can oftentimes be a fitness couple or a wellness couple where you really take care of or want to help the other person get well. And they might take pleasures in earthy things, like going on a walk on the beach, holding hands, or there's something very beautiful about the simplicity of walking around the block together with a cup of coffee underneath the stars. They take joy in the routine of life. So do you have this placement? How does it show up? Who do you have this with? I love this for a parent-child as well, because this is a very, I take care of you, you take care of me. Like, don't worry, mommy, I'll help you load the dishwasher. Yeah, I don't have that. I don't have that. But that's what this would feel like. I want to sign up for this composite moon with a kid. Don't worry, mommy, I'll vacuum. I'll clean the porch off. I'll sweep the porch. I'll do the cat litter. Yeah, no, that's not happening in my reality. But it's like they take joy in helping with the routine of life, helping make your daily life, which, by the way, is what most of us are dealing with, right? We're not on vacation every day, having a blast every day. We're doing the routine of life together, and this sweetens that. And so they make good work partners, good friendships, and they would do something like put on events well together. They would plan things out well together. They might even like make a great plan for how are we going to do a vacation. I remember this one time I went to Hawaii with my family, and my stepdad and my mom and me and my brother. Anyways, and my sister. It was really funny. So I like to go there and just figure out what to do, and I don't know, do it spontaneously. My stepdad had the entire trip from day 1 to day 10 planned out and organized. I was like, what if I'm not in the mood that day? Right? So traveling together would be This composite moon placement here would be great because you would do even the routine when you travel in the same vein, right? Like you would have great organization around that. There's a lot of emotional satisfaction in being able to count on the other person, period. So if you have this composite moon placement, it's probably like if your partner says they'll be there at 6, your partner will be there at 6. It's like they are their word. There is a peacefulness for keeping their word. And there's a lot of transparency inside communication. And this is usually an intellectual and a smart couple as well, and great communicators. Remember, this is Mercury's other house. Do you guys remember? Put the notes in the comment. This is a test. I want to know if you know what the other communication house is. Do you guys remember? 2 signs share Mercury, and that is the 3rd house and the 6th house. So Gemini and Virgo. So this couple can also be very wise and end up in mentorship roles to others. So they could be like Tony Robbins and his wife. I forget his wife's name, but they might even foster a family or take others in that they can provide service to or for. They care about the world outside of themselves in a very functional and pragmatic way. And they care about taking care of others. So they might be great at like recycling together. Like, honey, you do the compost, I do the recycle, and then we barely have any trash. I know that sounds funny, but there would be some element of that. They might be the do-gooders out there in their community where together inside partnership, they do good service for the outside world. These people care about housework and meals and exercise and daily chores and the workplace and caring for others. They sincerely care about their obligations and their commitments. I want to say what it really adds up to is they care about the wellness inside their relationship, the wholeness, the holistic wellness. So are you good in mind, body, and spirit? And if not, what can I do to help make you better? If one person is getting out of shape or staying chronically ill, the other person really cares about that. So you feel cared for with this placement. So I want to know, how does it feel to be in your daily life with your partner if you guys have a composite moon sign in the 6th? Because there's a lot of daily compassion here. It isn't flashy. It isn't dramatic. It isn't, a roller coaster, but it can be deeply satisfying through daily wellness, through a daily wellness program. Let's talk about the composite moon in the 7th house. Anybody who has this placement will find a lot of comfort in just having the union. The relationship can even become a main focus, like it's their preoccupation or their job. And this relationship really shows up in the world. It's like they can even be seen as the ideal couple, or at least that could be a goal of theirs. Like they want to be approved of. They want to be admired. They want to be a beautiful couple, a smart couple, a power couple. They want this partnership to elevate their individual selves. So together we're better than alone. This union really could represent the ideal relationship, and others could be in true awe of what they have created. The 7th house is the natural house for Libra, and it is also considered the marriage house. I want you to think about marrying ketchup. So if you've ever been a waiter in a restaurant, where you take 2 half-used ketchup bottles and you put them together to fill the ketchup bottle. That's the kind of marriage we're talking about, like complete union. So that can be to anything or anyone. It doesn't have to be in a romantic relationship, but it's when 2 energies marry into each other through a commitment, through a partnership. Your composite moon here with the other person really creates this desire for this deeper bond, this deeper union. If their relationship doesn't offer them a sense of emotional high value, or if it's not a high value relationship, or if it's too superficial, this can be really devastating and very disappointing to one or both people in the couple. And it doesn't matter if you have this with your mom, your child, your lover, your friend, your business partner. There's something about the union that wants to work towards idealism, making it the best, making it the most beautiful, making it the most harmonious, making it the kindest, the smartest, the wisest. This isn't necessarily a competitive placement, although this is a cardinal house. The reason why I say that is because there is idealization that drives this house, these people strive to create that level of idealism. And if they fall short in that, even if this is a work relationship, they can feel it. They really put into their bond and their commitment, making it the ideal, the very best it can be. There is a great deal of comfort in investing in that mission of the union, however that union is defined. There can be just a deep and profound emotional gratification about just being in the relationship, just having a life to share with somebody and having fun and romance and partnership with somebody who values harmony, beauty, peace, love, but it can put a great deal of weight. The moon in this house can put a great deal of emotional weight onto the couple, onto the union, onto the partnership. This can become a deeply powerful emotional connection between two people. Like I said, there is a focus on beauty. This is a beauty house because Libra is ruled by Venus. Diplomacy, creating harmony, not wanting arguments or fights, avoiding conflict. And this is the house of compromise. So this couple will be pretty good at learning how to compromise with one another. And this union or partnership usually attracts friends and love and going out and socializing and being with like-minded souls. They have usually very high standards for themselves and for the company that they keep, and they want to create quality time that does not bring stress, garbage, baggage, or drama. This is also a highly sensitive placement for this union. This partnership is going to care so much about what they look like in public, what they look like on social media, what they look like out there in the world, what they look like, what impression they are creating with their friends, with their family, and they want to be kind of perfect. So the 6th and the 7th house really strive, both of those houses for different motivations, strive for perfection. If there's too much conflict inside this union, this partnership probably cannot manage that. On a positive note, they will really find security and comfort and even love inside of the calm or the loveliness that this union creates. But on the negative side or worst case scenario, it can create an emotional drama around, am I getting out of this what I'm putting into? Is this relationship balanced and fair? And am I getting my emotional love language needs met? Or am I just giving and giving and giving and not receiving? So this is really about being fair and balanced inside the relationship. And usually it ends up pretty well. This is a pretty darn good placement for a composite moon sign. So do you have this? That's what I want to ask. Also, did you guys notice we still have a few more? We sold out of our Dawn Wonder new moon manifestation pendants. They are so beautiful, but she made us 16 more. So we have 16 more available. They're going to go fast, and it's made with mother of pearl. I don't know if you can see it. These are absolutely incredible. And if you guys watched my video on how to manifest on the new moon, you can actually use this necklace, charge it up in the new moon outside with your wishes, and then wear it for the whole month. That's what I'm doing right now. And I absolutely feel my whole heart open wearing this necklace. It is so beautiful, and it's kind of subtle, but also it's kind of dramatic in the light. And I just find it to be so gorgeous, and I can wear it literally with everything. And I love how it's Venus holding up the moon. Just beautiful. I feel so lucky that Dawn made this exclusively for us. She is so talented. Let's keep on going, and I hope you guys are absolutely loving this. The composite moon in the 8th house. This is a wow, wow, wow. This is like a big, giant wow. You signed up for a very big karmic contract with this person. And this 8th house composite moon couple has a scorpionic edge to it. And so you signed up for really deep and intense feelings, soulful drama. And if you will, your relationship is going to be about power, control, and transformation. Transformation is a paradigm shift, completely transforming who you once were into who you want to become. And so it is a painful process to transform, but it is also so liberating and so profoundly meaningful. You may need to face dealing with death and losses and failures and learning how to pick up all the pieces and start all over again. This is the Jenga puzzle literally collapsing and you building a whole new tower. Now tell me if that's easy. No, it's not. You might feel like, wow, I don't experience this alone, but with you in my life, I feel like everything falls apart and we have to rebuild. Well, yeah, that's what the relationship is creating. However, through this challenge, through this adversity, through the losses, you can learn to trust even more deeply, right? When you have survived something really hard with somebody, it's like you have almost overcome fears of the superficial worries that other couples have. You're dealing with really heavy, intense stuff if you've got this composite moon placement. At the end of the day, at the end of the month, at the end of life, you have learned you can count on this person, that they don't scare easily and they don't leave quickly. There is a deepening with the crisis and the challenges that you boldly and bravely face together. Hunkering down together in a bunker creates intimacy. I also want to mention that this relationship is going to be about the truth and about what is really going on underneath the surface. It's going to be about understanding each other's psychological wounds. And if you haven't watched my Pluto videos, I really highly recommend, if you have this placement, to go watch my entire Pluto playlist, because Pluto is the ruler of this 8th house. Because your relationship is about peeling away the superficial, peeling away the mask, and really getting down into the truth of your soul, like who are you truthfully? And the ugly truth, the gory truth, the hard truth, the awful truth, the truth that makes you squirm, right? The truth that's not so pretty, the truth that has an ugly face attached to it. In order to know what the truth is, first you must know what the truth is not. And that can be very painful, to learn what the truth is not. Because this relationship, this union is going to transform what you thought was true and what you attached your truth to. So maybe all along you thought Jesus was the answer to your problems, or maybe you thought your religion was really the truth, and you got into this union and you discovered that the truth is more complex than that. And there is a pain in losing a part of your ideology. This relationship, no matter what kind it is, platonic or romantic, is intensely private. And others outside this connection may not even understand why you guys are together, but they're not in it with you. They're just observing. So there may be an imbalance in it. Like in a romantic relationship, one person might be beauty and the other the beast. And people are baffled, like, why does he like her? Why does he like him? Or why does she like her? Or one may have all of the money, power, and control, and the other doesn't. And there's an inequity inside this connection. So power and control is role played throughout this. And how does the person who doesn't bring anything to the table, if you will, financially, find their power, find their voice, find their vote, and take back their power? Like the millionaire parent and the child that takes all of life for granted, who is extraordinarily spoiled. So because the composite moon here indicates that this house provides emotional gratification, satisfaction, comfort, and even joy inside feeling safe and secure, it's important that you try to keep, if you have this placement, you try to keep the power and the control evenly dispersed between both parties, so one doesn't end up with all of it and the other with none of it. But this takes time, and this takes trust, and this requires vulnerability, and this usually creates or needs transformative creation of energy that can transform, so both people can feel equal. If one person has all the money, the person who doesn't have all the money might need or want to change this dynamic. Instead of just being the one who has to pay the price all the time for not having the same offerings of money or resources. It can be painful. This couple is invited to really come from their very best selves, not holding power and control over the other. So do you have this placement, and who do you have this placement with? And is power and control a big theme in your life? Like, do you feel insecure with this person? Does this person feel insecure with you because you hold all the cards? And that can even be played out on an emotional level too, where maybe you hold all of the emotional cards as well. But let me tell you something. If you both come from your very best selves, if you both really try to surrender the power tripping or the control or being the security, being the primary person who provides security, and if you really allow both partners to flourish and stand in their transformational power, this relationship can be so healing, so deep, and so rich. And it can permanently and forever change you. It can literally change your entire life. This is a very deep karmic contract that the two of you are playing out. And if you can get out of the master-slave dynamic these imbalances can create, and the turmoil and the pain that that kind of imbalance can create, it's going to feel so empowering and inspiring. But if you can't, you probably will need to at some point leave the relationship, divorce this person in order to survive. Remember, this is the energy that the two of you create together. You might not create this energy in your own independent individual life. And this moon placement can truly and genuinely not only be life-changing, but it can help your soul grow and evolve in ways that you cannot experience on your own. So if you have that placement by Composite, I want to invite you to go and purchase my Scorpio Masterclass, because this moon, the heart of your relationship, whatever sign it is, it doesn't matter, has a very scorpionic element. And I have a 3-hour masterclass on Scorpio, breaking down and distilling the stereotypes, the superficial qualities that you constantly and chronically hear about Scorpio. And I show you Scorpio with a whole new light, a whole new lens, a whole new face, a whole new depth. And it's really, really magical. As a matter of fact, I have so many masterclasses and my workshops now in my shop that you can buy, so you can study with me more deeply. So I have my entire Spain workshop, my soulmates masterclass, my Scorpio masterclass. I have so many. Just go check them out. They're my classes and workshops. They're in my shop, and you can click on the description below to find the link to go see what you might want to learn more in depth. So let's talk about the composite moon in the 9th house. This is a relationship based on shared philosophies, ideas, beliefs, and adventures galore. These people feel life at the grandest of scale, and they want to just suck that ripe nectar just straight out of the peach, just yummy. And it can feel as if you are on the ride of a lifetime together, exploring your relationship through a National Geographic documentary film fest. And you crave joy, and you find it through traveling, through learning about life, and discussing all the things you have found in your relationship adventure together, trying to sort through it all and find the greatest, sifting out the riffraff to find the golden pearly nuggets of the deepest, biggest truths about life and love and yourselves. And there is an abundance of love and curiosity with a 9th house moon. There's an innate joy and optimism and abundance and a belief that we can have it all if we want to. There is a deep comfort and desire for joy. This is another joyful house. I consider the 3rd, the 5th, and the 9th the happy houses. The 5th is the number 1 happy house. The 9th is the 2nd happiest house. And then the 3rd as the 3rd happiest house. And the 3rd and the 9th are opposite of one another. And so that's the happy axis. There is a feeling of abundant love when the two of you are sorting through what's true, what's not true, and sorting through all the truths, your adventures and your journey and your life experiences together and individually have made you come to understand. There's a lot of comfort and emotional satisfaction found for both of you sharing in this adventure. Let's see who this is. Who is it? It's Ivy. She's so cute. I think she missed us terribly. There's also a great comfort in chronic and constant exploration and staying nimble. You also like to be prepared for anything and everything. You know, you are the duo, the couple, the partnership that just sees life as the glass is half full, not half empty. You are the optimist traveling through life, and partnership is infectious and it's magnetic and it's exciting and alluring, and it is a great attractor. I also will say that you guys don't want to sweat the small stuff, which can be a problem because sweating the small stuff can be important, but you guys don't like to focus on that. You like to share in the philosophical parts of life, asking philosophical questions and in search for the meaning of life for your life. Having big ideas and big energy and big adventures and big passions are what the two of you will create together. This is a very big placement for the moon. The hard part is staying fulfilled with the little things and not allowing yourself to get disappointed when the boring parts need tending to. It's critical to keep the relationship alive, and doing the daily and the mundane so you can afford to have the adventures together. And this is one of the sweet placements. I guarantee you, your life will be culturally rich and diverse. You guys might come from different cultural backgrounds. You guys might like different music, different kinds of cultural food. You might have grown up with different religions, different beliefs, but together somehow bridge the gap and you stay open-minded to the differences in you. You don't get discouraged. They actually create more interest. I also want to say that you guys could be foreigners in each other's life. So maybe I'm American and you're German, and German is your first language and English is mine, but somehow we figure out our communication. What language are we going to talk in? Well, thank God most Germans speak English. And so there could be one of you is living in the other's land, and so you're considered foreign. This is actually very exciting placement, so you'll have to tell me if you have this. And by the way, I'm going to be doing my members only video on this subject, and I'm going to be going through the signs. So if you haven't become a member, please become a super supporter or a superstar super supporter. And if you're a superstar, you get free tickets to my master classes, and you get your gorgeous natal chart, and you get your transits for the whole entire year. But if you want to just join at the $299 level, there's tons of perks too. And I could not do this work without you all. So thank you, thank you, thank you for your membership. And I hope you're loving your members only content. So I know I have Ivy on my lap right now, but I do want to say you could do your composite chart if you know when your animal was born. Even if you don't, you can still know all of the planetary placements. You just won't know what houses the planets are in. You will know the planets and the signs that your composite chart has. You just won't know the houses if you don't know both people's times. It's still invaluable to know what the planets and the signs are, though. You'll know the moon sign. You just won't know which house the moon sits in by composite. With the composite moon in the 10th house, your emotions as a couple are on the stage for the world to see, feel, and experience. And you may not like that. You may not have that naturally, but now all of a sudden you married this person and you're like semi-famous and it's all on display in the public arena. Now, it might not be, in front of the entire world, but it might be far more public than you're comfortable with. And the public might, or the community that you live in might look up to you. They might talk about you. They might want to emulate you. They might be curious about you. You may be influential in ways that you aren't alone. You are a couple that really emotionally can impact other people. And there is a desire, or it's just automatic, to achieve very ambitious goals together. You are an ambitious couple. Eventually, the world outside of your relationship could become very critical and important and may even lead to a deeper bond, become fulfilling for your relationship. This is a great composite moon for relationships that are platonic too, especially business partnerships and mentors and parents, because a lot of greatness can be found or discovered with this placement, like Kelly Clarkson and American Idol. I wonder if they had a 10th house composite moon or sun, because American Idol got her discovered and it forever changed her life and ultimately led her to deep emotional fulfillment, and vice versa. People tuned in and loved watching American Idol because it made people like Kelly Clarkson. It can be really cool to look at the birth chart of moments in time where you found incredible success. If you played at the Apollo Theater, well, get that time in which you performed and see what you created in a composite chart with you playing at the Apollo Theater. It can be an individual win-win that leads to massive collaboration that becomes larger than either person inside this partnership ever imagined. so both entities can actually win. And when properly focused together, you can be a massive force in this world, and you can enter the world of status and career success, and that can become quite comfortable for you eventually. And so you're really primed to conquer your dreams and your ambitions, creating a massively important or special legacy. Finding emotional security and navigating the public and your career can help you achieve so much together. For you guys, for this partnership, success breeds security. And in an odd way with this placement, there isn't a desire to do fourth house or sixth house things as much as you want to do 10th house things. So there isn't as much of a desire to be so private. So tell me if that's true. If you have your composite moon in the 10th house, are you kind of popular? Do you have a big social sphere? Do you have influence in the world within your partnership? It's easy because you are secure when you achieve things together, and you actually find it comforting when it benefits the relationship as a whole. However, if you take this too far, or worst case scenario, when the focus of the relationship is on the world out there, your personal world, your private relationship can truly suffer. So you must make sure that you still give time and you dedicate your tender and intimate bits to your partner, because you still have a need, if this is a romantic relationship, to have intimacy. And it's easier to be better together for the world if you have it in truth at home when nobody's looking. I think of Michelle and Barack Obama's love life. I mean, they have a really strong connection for the world and also intimately. If you're too focused on the world and your career and what the world thinks and the social climbing, it's also going to shift your focus to making the world out there more important than your partner is. And that surely will create a discord inside the intimate part of your relationship. Together, this can lead to the couple having a deep mission in life together. I think of also Jimmy and Rosalind Carter, who worked for Habitat for Humanity and helping those in less fortunate positions until Rosalind died into their 90s. They have a really, really good example of this. I don't know what their moon placement is, but I would like to know. So composite moon in the 11th house. Like the 10th house, composite moon in the 11th also deals with the outside world, with the world outside of themselves, with the world bigger than their own individual self. The 11th house specifically focuses on other people and interaction between you, your couple, your partnership, and people out there in groups, communities, and organizations. This partnership is about forming alliances that advance your goals, your dreams, your hopes for humanity, and for your life. You need people. This is a couple, this is a union, this is a partnership that really needs other people to thrive and survive and feel secure, fulfilled, emotionally fulfilled, and happy. And I'll say that you especially need people with intriguing intelligent ideas that will help advance your personal goals within your relationship, that are supportive of your personal goals, your ideals. And there is a deeply fulfilling connection when your partnership or your relationship is creating something meaningful for others who are less fortunate to truly benefit from. You may pursue causes together that you both passionately believe in, or this could just be a friendship that is so like-minded. You might walk together in the gay pride parade, or you might go picket for women's rights together. This can be a very cause-driven connection, because when you feel like the two of you are making a difference or making an impact to advance society in the way that you believe in, you feel safe. You feel secure. This probably brings you enormous gratification, satisfaction, fulfillment, happiness, and joy, feeling like this partnership is allowing me to do something really impactful and very meaningful. This is a lot of advocacy, if you will. And it doesn't have to be so grandiose and great. This could be, this could be on a very simple level too, like building I don't know, the neighborhood garden. It doesn't have to be helping a neighbor. It doesn't have to be super flamboyant or grandiose to be fulfilling. So tell me if you have this position and how it shows up in your relationship and in your partnership. There is a desire to grow or nurture or advance the world in some way. There's a deep unification inside this partnership where you feel really gotten. You feel like you can be weird and your partner doesn't care, just absolutely doesn't care. Segue here. Have you guys seen on TikTok the girl who has very serious Tourette's syndrome? Well, her boyfriend doesn't mind. And he is quite sweet to her. It's hard to even imagine how you would be involved with somebody who has that severe of Tourette's, and yet he just accepts her uniqueness and her diversity, if you will. And that's very admirable when you show this. There's a very open-mindedness with this placement, and there is a catalyst to bring awareness or change, just like their relationship really opened my eyes up to unconditional love. Like he just accepts her with this very serious condition that most people would feel quite embarrassed by, because she has really violent outbursts and she has pornographic outbursts, and he just rolls with it. It was absolutely amazing. There's a sense of adventure. There's a desire to learn. There's an exploration. This couple probably loves exploring the cosmic realm, the energetic field, aliens, any intergalactic messages, the other side, light workers. And your friends and alliances might be uncanny. They might be unconventional, eccentric, odd, and a little bit weird, if you will. Not the norm, not the traditional. This relationship is not traditionally minded. It is new minded. It's innovative. It wants to create. And so you like the quirkiness, the quirky uniqueness that is expressed inside this partnership. So I want to know about you. You have to leave a comment below and tell us all. And by the way, if you're feeling confused, if you're feeling like you want a reading, oh my gosh, book a reading with myself or one of my 2 readers. You can just go to soulnavigation.com and click on book a reading and book a reading with one of us. We would love to read your chart and help you with your composite chart. I want to say that this couple reminds me of the couple that has the really wonkadoo wedding, like something so unique and so different and like breaks tradition and doesn't have the stereotypes, traditional wedding, but somebody who really thinks outside of the box and brings a massively creative marriage, partnership, and even ceremony and wedding to the table. And everybody is probably sitting around going, wow, what's that? That's really different. I never thought of that. I wish I would have thought of that. This can be very cutting edge and trend setting couple. I will also say that you might feel like you need this other person or you need this partnership to be confident enough to be your unique individuated self, to go down a bit more of a rebellious or innovative or quirky path. And you're stronger together in your quirkiness than standing alone. And you might not have the courage to even be this unique in life by yourself, but with this other person, it bolsters you up and it allows you to really stand in your unique and uncanny, if you will, or non-traditional dreams and aspirations. It gives you permission to be different. You might also, as a couple or inside this partnership, achieve your goals in the world by gaining recognition for your contribution or your advocacy to the world through whatever skill or talent you have to contribute. It's easier and more satisfying and deeply emotionally fulfilling done together than alone. I also will say that you might prefer to go into groups or organizations inside your partnership more than you do all by yourself. There's likely to be a mutual respect for your individual dreams, and security comes from feeling safe, getting to be totally and freely yourself. This is a very non-judgmental aspect to this partnership. And I love how this partnership, this union, will allow you to become uniquely and authentically you. It's a really bold placement. There's going to also be high intellect, high mindedness, because this is Aquarius's house and this is ruled by Uranus. And this is really highly intelligent ideas. So it might not be mushy gushy and all in the public and, get a room, and you might not see sexual fireworks, but you see a camaraderie that just is so tightly bonded. You can see why these people are together. Like maybe they have the same tattoos and piercings, or maybe they wear the same weird hats or the same colors. You can definitely see the connection and how they get each other in their uniqueness. It's actually quite admirable. Okay, let's talk about a 12th house composite moon. This is a deeply private partnership. I want you to see if you have a 12th house composite moon with anybody in your life, because it's pretty special. This is sort of the place where the curtains are drawn and secrets are shared. So the emotions are very deep, like they are if you have a composite 4th house or 8th house moon. There is a chance that this romantic couple can enmesh so deeply that they lose their own individual self and they literally become one thing. There is a melancholy, usually. There's an intuition that drives this relationship. There's a poetry being made just by being together. Breathing with synchronicity can be deeply relaxing and create deep emotional security in a romantic partnership with a 12th house composite moon. So remember that the composite describes the needs of the relationship. And in this case, with the moon, it describes the emotional needs of the relationship. So you may be an extrovert individually, but this relationship sucks you in and teaches you to become more introverted. This relationship can oftentimes be hidden, have secrets, or be kind of understated or quiet. Does it have to be a secret? That's my question for you. Or is it just better that way? Are you allowed to be seen with this person, or do you both just prefer for your relationship to be hidden? Is there a reason why it's hidden? Is there an age difference? Is there a partner that's married? Is there disapproval from family, right? Do you not want to reveal to your child that you're dating or seeing somebody? Those are the questions for the 12th house composite moon. These deeply felt emotions, though, because this is a very deeply feeling and super sensitive and very thoughtful moon placement for a partnership. The feelings can feel heavenly. They can feel divine. This union can feel deeply karmic, deeply sensitive. It can feel mystical and magical for reasons you don't even know why. But it can also feel quite ominous, something that is not even ever spoken about. It's just the feeling that is created. You may know the answers inside this relationship without even asking the questions. You may experience a loss of one half of you, which creates the poetry that fills your heart. So my dad and I have this composite placement. We always kind of saw and understood the same dream from different perspectives. And he assured me that I could truly confide in him and he would keep my secret for life. He also trusted me with not all, but many of his secrets. He told me things that most dads would never tell their children. This moon placement by composite finds security in knowing the other's secrets, in the quiet truths and in the answers that are felt but not spoken. This moon placement will also offer a musical contract too. Music will be a part of your relationship. And with my dad, music was an enormous part of our relationship. It was an enormous part of his life. And do you know, when we went for long drives or a long commute together, like he took me out to a job every day, it took an hour drive for him to take me to my work and an hour drive home when he lived in Montreal, Canada, and I stayed with him in the summer. And do you know, he loved classical music so much and he gave me a great appreciation for it that he just had us listen to the classical music for that hour drive home. I did not dare change the channel. Now, with my relationship with my daughter, I also don't get a vote on the music, although I wanted my dad to have that moment and I liked sharing it with him. But with my daughter, she's the boss of the playlist now. And so what's so funny is I would not have dared to change the musical dial, the radio station, in my dad's car. But my daughter, she doesn't dare listen to my playlist. We meet in her music, not mine. And she and I don't have a 12th house composite moon, but I just find it so interesting that I really honored and I cherished and I learned and I grew from the music that my dad played. Spiritual wisdom will be another theme with this couple, with this partnership. And the truth about this relationship, this partnership, is there will be an evolutionary and a spiritual growth inside this relationship. Honestly, I think you will get closer to God and closer to heaven and closer to the cosmic realm through this relationship. One of the questions when I was a little girl from like 5 to 8, every single night when my dad tucked me into bed, he would say, Mary, let's talk about God. And I was like, oh, Dad, I don't know about God. And he's like, well, what do you think God is? Where is God? You know? And that's how he tucked me in at night. That's pretty deep for a 5-year-old. I cherish that now. We were having a 12th house composite moon. I didn't even know it. I didn't do astrology then. That's why I want you to understand the important people in your life and what your composite moon sign by house and by sign is, because it will reveal to you the deepest meanings of those relationships to you, to your soul. It will make your story sweeter, possibly. What I truly know is it will make you understand your connection at such a deeper level. There will be a newfound understanding when you understand your composite moon sign and by house. This is a very deep and profound moon placement, and it's guided by with intuition, like the two of you might call each other at the same time because your intuition says to reach out. There is a deep bond that is steeped in faith of some sort. I also want to say that this composite moon can bring losses. When it's in the 12th house, it can bring suffering. It can bring maybe unnecessary or difficult separations, feelings of isolation, feeling like the other person is an enigma, feeling like the other person is just out of arm's reach, feeling like you want more of the person. But it can also make you feel deeply relaxed and calm. This usually is a very calm place. This is usually a very comfortable place. You can take sanctuary in the other person. I hope so much that this has taught you something new. Will you leave me a comment below and let me know if this was too convoluted and too hard and just too above where you're at, and if you want me to go back to more basic astrology after you've explored everything I've already done on my channel. But I just want to know if you guys are enjoying this more complex take on astrology, these more complex teachings, and if you're getting a lot out of them. Thank you so much for being a member. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate you all from the bottom of my heart, and I hope that you're loving this composite series right here at Soul Navigation. Take good care. From my house here in Seattle to wherever you're at in the world, I wish you the very, very best. Bye for now.